Hey, what's up, everybody? It's not a response, it's a Rob-sponse coming from Rob. So I appreciate you stopping by the channel. Please like and subscribe. Feel free to make any comments or give any feedback that you have. That's always appreciated. So as you can see right now, I'm in Windhoek, Namibia. It's a country that is north of South Africa. It's about a 2 hour flight from Johannesburg, South Africa, or a 2 hour flight from Cape Town, South Africa. But yeah, Windhoek, Namibia, they got the zebras, so they got represent for Africa. But yeah, just want to come back and bring you my part two of Gringo dating. So the first one did in March. I was in Monterrey, Mexico, and I experienced a little Gringo tax dating. And then here I am in Windhoek, Namibia. And last night I experienced part two of Gringo tax dating. So a whole different continent, not North America. I'm in Africa. Same result. So pretty much last night, I was on Bumble and I had met someone, and I'm in the city. I'm bored. My cousin lives here, so I was actually kicking with my cousin. He had driven me around. I saw the Independence Museum here in Windhoek, Namibia. Got to see one of the malls, some of the shopping centers, and got to see the hood, Katuru, I believe it's called. It is the um, quote unquote hood of Windhoek, Namibia. There's a lot of shanty towns, a lot of poverty, a lot of people living in brick houses that don't have a door, very shoddy windows, and yet there's a lot of businesses, a lot of barbershops, some cell phone repair places, um, a lot of places we can cook. They have a thing called capono, where they actually cook the meat on a grill outside. So it's a little bit different. I didn't have a chance to get that, but again, we drove through the hood basically through the non-ritzy, fancy neighborhoods, and I did that with my cousin. So anyway, well, after he had dropped me off and he returned back home to his wife and kids about half an hour south of Windhoek, the city, I was bored. I was needing something to do. So I hopped on Bumble. I got a matched with a young lady. She probably lived maybe 20 minutes from the hotel as well. And we made this decision to meet up. So I was trying to meet Austin Holloman, who's here in Namibia with his fiance Z. We were going back and forth on Instagram, but he couldn't get a chance to meet me. He was trying to get me to come out to this place called Chelsea's, so he couldn't meet me. So I'm like, all right, I wanted to see Austin, wanted to go out to Chelsea's. So the young lady that I matched with, and I were talking, and I kept kind of slow playing her because I was really trying to see Austin, and I didn't want her to come up to Chelsea's if Austin hadn't committed to coming. And eventually, it turned out that Z, wasn't able to make it, so Austin couldn't make it. So we probably were talking for like an hour and a half from the point where I first brought the idea of, hey, maybe we'll meet at Chelsea's, to the point where I told her like, hey, I want to meet Austin Holloman from YouTube at Chelsea's, and it's not going to happen. Can we pivot? Is there a plan B? So to her credit, despite me slow playing her for like an hour and a half, she was like, yeah, we can still meet up. And I was like, okay, I can take a Yango. They don't have Uber here or Bolt. There's Yango and there's Lefa, Lefa. I was like, yeah, I can take a Lefa or a Yango to the bar that she was at. She was at a bar called Lady Marmalade or Lady Marmite, something that was like maybe 3 or 4 minutes away from Chelsea. So I was looking to go, but then for some reason, Lifa and Yango will only take cash from me, and I have a few Namibian dollars, but I was really trying to put it into my card so I could just, go ahead and charge my card account to be able to get to her. So, I'm trying to make that work, but I couldn't. And then I really didn't want to do the cash thing because you had to get change. And a lot of these drivers don't have change on them. Or if you ask and you say, hey, I don't have any change, then that way you aren't going to be able to get where you're going to go, or you're going to overpay because they don't have the right change to give you. So I really was trying to get my card to work with Yango or my card to work with Leaf, but it wasn't happening. So again, I had been talking to the young lady. We've been going back and forth for maybe like an hour and a half. I was really couldn't get down there because I couldn't get the card situation to work with the Yango app, the Leaf app. So she offers to take a ride share, her own Yango, down to the hotel. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. You know what? I've been slow playing for an hour and a half. She's actually going to use her own money and come to me. And again, outside the States, it's even more on the guy to be a gentleman, right? And to pay for stuff. So for her to have waited an hour and a half, you know, playing tag with me, going back and forth, and then now she's like, okay, I'll spend my money to come to you. I was like, oh, you know, she might be a winner. Because I was definitely aware of the gringo tax. And I was like, man, I'm not going to let these girls out here play me. Because again, people see American and they think, oh, he got money. It's like, okay, I'm not going to let that happen. Because I matched with a few women on Tinder and Bumble, and they were just talking about, what you trying to buy, where you take me to eat. They're just straight about, getting to the bag and getting money. Something, no, I'm not going to fall for the fake. She's spending her own money. She's willing to see me out there, me slow playing her for an hour and a half. She's got to be a good one, right? So anyway, she comes, picks me up. Red flag number one. She gets there to my hotel and she's there with our homegirl. Red flag number one. So our homegirl hops out. So we got the young lady I matched with plus our homegirl. Like, all right, she didn't know me from a can of paint. She has her homegirl with her for safety reasons. Because again, remember we matched on Bumble. So, we were talking on Bumble and then we were talking on WhatsApp. So again, she doesn't know me from a can of paint. She's got to have someone for safety. She's coming to me, it's probably like 10 o'clock p.m. at this point. So now she's like, all right, I'm here. I'm with my homegirl. Let's take another Yango, which she's paying for all these Yangos. So she paid for the first Yango to get to the hotel. She got a homegirl with her. Her homegirl comes. So now it's like, all right, well, you know what? I heard there's this place called Berrylicious. So my cousin told me about Berrylicious. So let's go down to Berrylicious. So she pays for the Yango. We take the Yango from my hotel to Berrylicious. We get to Berrylicious. Berrylicious is like a nice little upscale spot. It's next to the Hilton Hotel. They're not serving dinner. Because at this point I was kind of hungry. I hadn't eaten since maybe like 1 or 2 o'clock with my cousin when we were going around seeing the Independence Museum and all that, which I had mentioned earlier. So I'm hungry. Berrylicious isn't serving food. There's a place called the Avani Casino right across the street from Berrylicious. So the young lady I matched with and the homegirl, we all proceeded to walk over across the street. So now we're at the casino. The casino serves food. It's like 4 in the morning. It's probably like midnight. We're at the casino. Red flag number two. One was she had a homegirl. You were supposed to kick with just, you and I, but you bring your homegirl. I'm like, all right, cool. She brought a homegirl for protection, to feel more comfortable. Fair enough. So now we get to the casino. Red flag number two. Homegirl orders the most expensive thing literally on the menu. She literally ordered the most expensive item on the menu. This is Homegirl. So even if we have a good night, it's not going down with Homegirl. You know what I'm saying? At best, a good night will go down with the main girl that I match with. Homegirl is not happening. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting the wing girl. It's not going to happen. Threesome not happening. A two ways not happening. It's the main girl or nothing. Homegirl is not going to happen. So homegirl gets, and then you know how it is in Africa, because they pay for the Yango. It's like, hey, we expect you to pick up the food and the drinks. So then the girl I matched with gets the second most expensive thing on the menu. They both proceed to order like 2 bottles of water and like 3 or 4 drinks apiece. So basically, by the time we finally leave, maybe like an hour and a half later, these girls have run up a $1,000 Namibian bill. You know what I'm saying? They done run up the equivalent of like $70 USD. And we're in Africa. You know what I'm saying? The equivalent of getting like a Yango ride or a Leafa ride somewhere is like a $6 or $7, USD equivalent. These chicks to run up $70, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. It's like you back to paying American price. You can take a chick out in the States for $70. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. So we do that. I'm like, all right, well, she paid for the Yango, she paying for the ride share, because again, I couldn't get my card to work and I wasn't trying to pay cash. So fine. I'm like, you know what? I'll take this L. I'll go ahead and I'll pay this $1,000 Namibian bill at this casino because these chicks ordered the most expensive stuff on the radio and didn't have no type of, I don't know what the word is. No type of self-awareness, man. Just ordering everything you do. Because again, I'm American. The Gringo tax, right? Here's the title. You know what I'm saying? There's a title for y'all, Gringo Tax. So the next they want to go to the club. So he goes to this club called The Loft. I'm like, all right, cool. I got a little bit of video of it. I got to still work on like how to splice my video so that way I can kind of post the Loft. So I'm like, all right, fine. So then I got to pay admission for 3 people to get in. And then, mind you, they had drank so much at the casino that she couldn't even really finish her drink. I had to help her finish her drink, right? Main girl who I matched with. But now we're at the club, and again, she's like 29. I think the home girl that she invited with her is maybe like 24, 25, 26. I forget, right? So now they're at the club, and then everybody in the club is like trying to floss and show we're big time Namibia. Even though this is not Johannesburg, this is not Cape Town. This is like a second tier party city, Windhoek Namibia. So and again, I think this is just again red flag number three, just Gringo tax. So I bought like 2 rounds of drinks that again that are expensive as well, and then this is like, all right, I'm on the third round. I'm like, no, you've had enough to drink. You good. You ate a whole bunch of stuff at the hotel with your homegirl, and I done bought you guys 2 rounds of drinks. I'm done. I'm cutting you off. This is it. So she proceeds to buy her own third round of drinks. So credit to her. But then maybe half an hour later, and now it's probably like 3:30 in the morning. We at the club still. She's like, let's buy another round. I'm like, no. This shit proceeds to go and buy like $250 Namibian worth of drinks. So I've already then spent like $120 American before she goes and buys another $250 Namibian, which is like another like $20, $30 American. This shit was about to have me spending $200 or $300 USD. You know what I'm saying? In Windhoek, Namibia, just so you can like floss and drunk and get out in front of her friends. So at that point, I was like, nope, I'm gonna take the L. I'm gonna go ahead and use what little Namibian cash I got. I'm gonna call this Yango myself, and the Yango back to my hotel ended up being $38 Namibian. I only had 40 on me, 220s Namibian. So I went ahead and gave the driver 40 Namibian, even though I only had to pay 38. So you got the two Namibian tip. I just said, I straight up left old girl. I was like, no. The car reader said 250 Namibian. I said, nope, I'm going home. Out. I left her and her homegirl right there at the club, the loft, and I took about 38 Namibian Yango ride home and paid the dude 40. So yeah, man, I got a game right on me, dude. I dropped, like I said again, when you count that Yango ride, I dropped about the equivalent of $130 USD in Windhoek, Namibia, on 2 chicks I just happened to match with when I was really trying to avoid getting finessed. I got finessed, man. Just L's, dude. Gringo tax data, man. They see the American and no fucks given, dude. So I thought I was gonna avoid getting taken advantage of in Africa, but because the girl pulled up in her own Yango, which made me think that okay, she's cool. She's willing to invest in her own money. Like I said, maybe she came out of 25 or 30 Namibian. Maybe. I'm sorry, I'm lying. Maybe she came out of the equivalent of 25 or 30 USD. You know what I'm saying? Because she did pay for like 3 rides. So maybe she came out like $30 USD. Maybe she came out of that. So like I said again, man, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I just feel like for a person that just met you and just constantly keep ordering stuff, when you've hit your limit, you like can barely hold your alcohol, but you want to order more just because you know I'm American, I got it. Nah, man. Like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Gringo Tax Dating Part 2. Like I said, I did the first one back at the end of March. But yeah, man, these foreign girls, like, yeah, I get it. American money goes far. And I get it that they're parochial or um, paternal, male dominated culture, so that the men have to sort of, step up. But there's a thing between being grateful and just trying to game somebody, man. That was a finesse. So she reached back out to me. She's like, "Hey, I want some TLC. I want to kick it with you and see you again." I'm not sure I'm gonna give her opportunity, man. There's another woman that I matched with who does laundry. She was doing her laundry, and I was reaching out to her. She was like, "Yo, oh, you need your laundry done? I can do your laundry." So I might help. I can pay for dinner for her or something. I'm not gonna go overboard. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to open in the spot. We going so we can get some dinner, get you one drink or something. And you can do my laundry. But I don't think I'm giving no girl that I matched with yesterday another chance. I think that's done. You got to stand on top of your head to get a second chance with me. But anyway, like and subscribe. Not a response, it's Rob-sponse.